All right, here we go, and hello. Sip. My name's Merrick, and I'm going to be drawing a thing today. I already got it sketched out. I'm actually working off of a little postcard I did, but I want to just hop in, so let's hop in. Hope you're all doing all right. Thanks for coming by to watch this video. I know my schedule for putting stuff out has been a little all over the place, but I'm just making it as I can make it, you know? Been a lot of stuff happening. Been working a lot. Been doing a lot of other stuff. Been drawing a lot, which is good. But I wanted to work on this today because I posted this little postcard here to my left, right meow. And I got a lot of good feedback on it. People really liked it. And I like it a lot. And so I thought it would be fun to do kind of like a redraw. Because that's a thing that people do. They redraw things. See that a lot on like social media where people take old artwork, you know, from like years ago or whatever and redraw it, and I think that's really cool. It's a fun exercise. This is not really following any sort of social media post formula or anything like that. This drawing is not from years ago. It's only from maybe a week or so ago. But I really liked it. And it was just a little sketch, so I wanted to do something a little bit bigger. And redraws can be fun. You can take an idea that's good, that was maybe, you know, just really quick or something like that, and maybe say, if I do that again, a couple things I'd do differently. Change it up a little bit, you know, try something new. Just put a little bit more detail, love into it. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. But, you know, if you're feeling out of ideas, a little bit of creative block or whatever, taking something that's already been completed and, you know, redoing it or adding to it can be a really nice way to kind of draw something without having to worry too much about coming up with some fresh, cool idea. It's low pressure exercise. But also, it's just cool if you've got something small and you want to draw it again, but bigger. Going a little bit on the top and then a little bit on the bottom to make sure these meet in the middle. Because my line work gets a little out of control sometimes. I'm going with some sharp, demonous eyebrows. Yeah. Probably picking up. Oh, my computer is chugging over there. It's okay, buddy. It's okay, buddy. You got this. It's probably picking up on the mic. Oh well. Sorry if the recording sounds like a jet airplane. Just mute me. But yeah, had a little bit of a busy week. Worked on some stuff. Got to actually get out and talk with some people in the art world, which was nice. It was a welcome change. Normally I'm such a shut-in, but yeah, it's been good. Been working at the day job a lot, so hadn't had too much time to like put stuff out this week. You know, sit down for big recording sessions or whatever. But I've been posting some stuff. Been working on some things, as well as getting much needed rec time. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. You know, cautionary tale. But it feels good to just sit down and kind of play. Don't have to think too hard about this one. Not only because I only sketched it out, so it's like done, and I just get to explore the line work, but, you know, we got this little idea over here that I'm working off of. Make it a little bit cuter. Just more detail. You get to practice drawing without trying too terribly hard. There's a lot of stuff I want to work on today, but I also got a lot of other stuff to do. It's the first full day off in a little bit, so I got plans. I have an agenda. But this is on the agenda. To draw a thing. And actually get something done today. Got a lot of stuff waiting in the wings. A lot of stuff that's just in progress, but working on something start to finish should be nice. I don't know if I'll record the whole process here, because I'm still debating whether or not I'm going to do like color or anything with this. I may not. I want to do something colorful. I've been craving that. So that's probably where I'll end up with this, but we will see. Feelings may change. I may feel like doing something completely different. But that's where I'm at now. I kind of have been liking making these somewhat unstructured videos. It's a nice break from what I was trying to do before that it ended up getting me a little bit burnt out. I was trying to do too much. I have ambitions. There's so many things I want to do. So many fun things to do, but can't do everything all the time. Can do a lot some of the time, but gotta keep a balance somehow. And I'm still figuring that out day to day. Alright. We got nice major shapes in here. It's feeling good. I'm gonna loosen up a little bit some of these details. Just kind of let my line work go. Because I want to stay true to the spirit of the original as well, kind of make it loose. Does that sound deep? Wasn't trying to be like weirdly deep. Just moving the pencil around, making shapes, lines mostly. This one I'm using, you may have seen this in previous videos. I use this pencil a lot. It's a Tombow Zoom mechanical pencil. It's got a nice weight to it. It's got good line quality. Solid pencil. I like it very much. This is a nice pencil. Good for drawing and writing. Plus, it's got a neat little cap. How cool is that? Nice clicky. Technical term, the clicky. It's got a good clicky to it. Good little click clack. Good little click clack. Let me draw this big, whatever this is, necklace collar thing. Try not to slide around here too much. There's going to be a bit of sliding. I'll try to keep it to a minimum. I gotta get into this hand before I start smudging everything. Let's go ahead and do that now. Hands are annoying. Never easy. Sometimes they're a little bit easier. It's always such a subtle magic to them. So you can make them look just right or just fucking awful. It's like, am I gonna draw good hands today? Well, let's roll the dice. Yeah, maybe. Maybe not. A little English on that one. A little English on it. Just draw some big sausage fingers. Sausages. Fuck. Hands. You know? I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Ugh. It's okay. It's okay. Just know that when you're drawing hands and it's just screaming on the inside, you're not alone. Never changes. Never gets easier. But, you know, you gotta do it. Or you can just be one of those artists that just hides hands. You see those artists in comics a lot. Artists that really like to hide feet or hide hands. Not to bash them at all, because I get it. I get it. Don't want to draw like 20 hands in a page. I understand. But that's also why I just decided to say fuck it and just simplify the hands that I draw. Because if I'm going to have to draw a million hands anyway, I'll just draw simple hands. Because I like drawing hands, you know? As much as it's a struggle, it's just annoying as hell sometimes. It's totally necessary, especially when you're telling comics, because let's use this little box that I'm trapped in as an example. You know, where you're drawing comics and it's like just characters like this, and it's a panel like that, and it's another panel like that, and it's another panel like that. And it's like, there's no hands. You know, people talk with their hands. You know, people like gesture, like point to things. It's a natural part of conversation. So to draw a realistic conversation, you're oftentimes going to have to draw hands. You know, hands convey a lot of emotion, and if you hide them in comics, and you lose a lot of that you can convey through the visuals. Feel the same way with backgrounds. Pain in the ass sometimes, but they are also essential sometimes. Sometimes. When you're just sketching, you don't need to draw backgrounds if you don't want to. But when you draw comics, you're going to have to draw backgrounds eventually. Take it from me, the master of avoiding drawing backgrounds. You have to draw them eventually. You can only put it off for so long. What am I doing? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Drawing ears. Look like goat ears. Doesn't matter. Draw big, chunky spikes. Well, you can see that sketch. It's coming along. We're clipping along here. We'll see how much of this I can get through. I would like that to be as much as possible. But we shall see. How's this gonna go? Do it right there. Just cheat a little bit. Perspective, what? I don't know who that is. No such thing as cheating. Not in art, anyway. Unless you're tracing stuff, that's kind of cheating. Actually, it's okay to trace stuff, I think. But if you trace stuff and pass it off as something that's not traced, then that's obviously not really cool. You know. You know. You can fool other people, but you can never fool yourself. You know? Making progress. Making progress. It's okay to leave my line work rough right now. That's okay. It's okay to make little touch-ups here and there too. But when I come in with a lighter pencil, next layer, and start filling things in and texturing things, I'll have opportunities to refine. I don't have to be locked into anything at this juncture. I'm going to do some really cool, like, fiery eyes. But I want to do a lot of that with pencil, so I'm just going to make indications now of where I want things to be, so I can shade around them and start constructing the drawing around this stuff. This is where I start. And I think it's a good place to start. All this will be like improvised. I'm really trying to pick and choose at this point what I'm going to detail out, because I could just go over the whole thing and spend all that time, but I don't have to, so why would I? Right now, I just want to get a move on. Get a move on. Get a sip. Get that sip. Take a sip. Draw a bit more. He's gonna have one of those wry demonic grins, you know? It's weird being trapped in this little box up here. It's a little bit strange. But my computer's like right there, and I gotta hide it, so I just put my face. Put my face there. So I don't want the computer screen to wonk up the recording. Don't want it to wonk it up. Can't avoid drawing those teeth forever, Merrick. You gotta pretend like you're working on something else, but you have to do it. Can't get away this time. I don't know what you're talking about. Just let it speak for itself. Why say anything about it? Take my time in this area to get the correct contours that I'm looking for. The ones that look good. Yep. Yep. Drawing that. Drew that. Why stop it at that? Why stop there? Doesn't make sense. Why would you just move on to another part of the drawing at that point? Just do it. Just do it. Alright. We are doing it. Making good progress. You just keep saying it out loud. It will eventually become true. I guarantee it. A little bit of stuff. A few things. Down at the bottom here. A little bit of stuff and a few things. How much detail I'm going to put into this area, I don't know. Probably not too much because this is right down there at the bottom. The other thing that I cannot avoid drawing forever is that other hand. I will have to do it. So let's do it. As he adds unnecessary lines to the hair. I'm trying to keep myself in line here. I feel good about this hand the way I sketch it out, but is that going to be the way that I actually draw it? Let's find out. Because I don't know. Is that how thumbs work? Do that little wrist area, little squishy wristy part. There's a little bit in there. If you bend your hand, you can see kind of the contour right there. When you relax it, it's still there, just kind of like a gradual plane. All those tendons and the little thingy that goes over them. Whatever it's a tendon thingy, tendon holder that holds your tendons to your wrist. Little bits in there. That's why this one is a little bit angled here because it's more stretched out here, but for it to make sense in my brain, I kind of just draw around that. I don't have to shade it right now, but I might later. So mapping it out, not a bad idea. Just thinking about it. Now I just need to remember it. Draw the line. Don't be afraid. I've gotten the question a couple times. Is it better to draw from the wrist or from the arm or higher up or lower down on the pencil? And it's all kind of personal preference. When you're working on a surface where you don't have anywhere to rest your hand, you're forced a lot more to draw from your arm. And even for me, like I'm trying to hang on to the edge of this here in order to draw a lot of these lines. And it's another reason why I've been drawing a little bit more like angled like this, like on a clipboard rather than a flat surface, you know, be something like an easel or one of those art tables that folds up towards you, is because it does force me a little bit more to draw from the arm. And there's no saying what's better or worse, but you definitely have a lot less control the more you draw from your arm. And I am very classically a person who plants my hand on the surface and then draws with my wrist and my fingers. It's maybe a bad habit. I don't know. I'm trying to push myself more in other directions just for the sake of learning through adversity or something like that. But it's easy to fall back into old habits, and I'm not going to prevent myself entirely from doing that. But, excuse me, personally, I have noticed that, you know, sometimes drawing from the arm a little bit more, or at least like, you know, just gently planting a finger and then letting my arm do most of the work, like the finger's just guiding the motion rather than dictating it, that can make a difference too. And it loosens up my lines, and it works for my style, so that brings me around to say, is one better or worse? Absolutely not. It's more about what you find works for you. And there are times when, for certain textures or certain line qualities, I will move my hand further up the pencil in order to loosen it up, or even to reach to another area. But, you know, obviously, if I want that really fine control on doing eyes or anything like that, I'm going to hold it really close down to the barrel in order to be able to move it just how I want it. But I've also seen people that will just go up to a paper and just hold their hand completely steady and just draw things. And it's crazy to me because that's not what I'm used to, but it goes to show that, you know, it's always going to be something different for everybody, no matter what you do. But, let's see here. Wrapping up this line work here. And it's looking pretty good. I'm liking it. Like those arms. They feel